Welcome to Swansea University and English Language Training Services, and this video looking at the language related tasks assignment for the Cambridge English CELTA. And in this video we will be looking at the first part of the assignment, which focuses on vocabulary. The language related task for the Cambridge English CELTA is typically divided into two parts. Part 1, the subject of this video, vocabulary, and Part 2, grammar and structures. As you can see from this slide, the language-related task links to the course in so much as it develops the skills of language analysis and language awareness. Now, this is commonly an area that trainees who are new to English language teaching on the CELTA worry about a lot. And can we please reassure you right now that there is no need. We don't expect on CELTA for people to come in with very sophisticated knowledge of English language systems, or indeed how to articulate that knowledge of how the English language works. That is part of the course where you learn about the language, you learn how to talk about the language, and most importantly, you learn how to help students learn the language through effective teaching in the classroom. So that's the most important thing to say, I think. Don't worry. This video and its accompanying video on grammatical structures, part 2, are designed to help you to get a much better understanding of how the assignment works, but also at this stage to reinforce the point that everything that happens in this assignment has a clear practical application. By researching language, you are expanding your understanding of the English language, which is of course important for an English language teacher. You are developing your ability to explain it, and you are looking at practical techniques that you can use in the classroom, which are tested in this assignment, but which will, through their development, make you a better language teacher. So, this identification of the significant features of English language requires you to come to grips with the 4 main aspects of language analysis: the identification of meaning, form, pronunciation and use, in this part of the assignment looking at vocabulary items. And that understanding, that ability to identify the meaning, form, pronunciation and use of a vocabulary item will come from the research that you undertake. Sometimes this comes from the coursebooks that you are teaching from, but for this assignment it will require you to understand where to go in order to get good quality information you can then pass on to your students. And for this assignment, looking at vocabulary, most of your time will be spent either looking at your notes from the input session on teaching vocabulary, but also looking at good quality online and free learner dictionaries. This slide, looking at the assignment requirements, is an important one and is the case and for all of the videos and all of the assignments that you undertake on the course, of which there are 4. It explains the requirements of the assignment for you, but also on us as the centre. So please take some time to make sure that you understand the requirements, and if there is anything that's not clear, you can ask at any time. Note that it's not uncommon for trainees to be asked to resubmit an assignment at some point during the course, so please don't worry if this happens to you. You will always be given detailed feedback on your work and full support in the case of a resubmission in order to help you to improve. So how exactly do we support you through all 4 CELTA assignments and here on part 1, vocabulary for the language related task? Well, obviously the first thing to do, as you're doing already, is watch this video. And we would suggest that you have a copy of the assignment pack to hand while you watch it, so you can refer in greater detail to some of the points that we'll be discussing with you today. At the beginning of the pack, you will come across information regarding the assignment aims, the assessment criteria and word limits, and this is something you can read for yourselves. But most importantly, I think on this slide is to comment on the word limit. Typically, the CELTA assignments are between 750 and 1,000 words, but for this assignment, which is inevitably divided into different sections, we recommend that you also look at the model answers which are provided, as these will give you a clear indication of the level of detail required for each part of the question. Now, the question itself is explained in the assignment task rubric. And again, it's important that you read this carefully to understand exactly what is required for the vocabulary part of the language-related task. It's divided into a number of sections. The first one is requiring you to, with the use of a good learner dictionary, to look up the meaning of each vocabulary item that is in the assignment and to identify its part of speech, be it a noun, a verb, or an adjective. And this is information that is readily available in a good online learner dictionary. They're also obviously available printed. You can buy them. And we recommend the Oxford Learner's Dictionary and the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. Others are also available. You're then asked to transcribe the word using the IPA, the phonetic alphabet. And the good news is that the accurate transcription of vocabulary items is always given in learner dictionaries. So effectively, this is something that you can copy from the learner dictionary. But we do recommend that before you do that, you do have a go at trying to transcribe the word yourself. Now, don't worry if you know nothing about transcription. This is something which is covered in the pronunciation part of the input sessions on the course. You're then asked to write a sentence or two which illustrates the meaning of the word. Now, dictionaries often do this, but on this occasion we ask you to write your own sentence or sentences in order to show that you can come up in the classroom with clear and full explanations from an example sentence in context of the meaning of a word. You're then asked to devise 2 or 3 concept checking questions which check easily and clearly the meaning of the word. Now again, if concept checking questions is something that's new to you, don't worry. We cover this in the vocabulary input session, and we also give you examples of how to develop concept checking questions in the model answer part of the assignment pack. Typically, there will be 2 or 3 questions that you need to write, and these both check and consolidate understanding of the vocabulary item you're working with. So as you can see, all of the questions that you are asked to answer in the assignment relate to the kind of things that happen in a vocabulary lesson in the classroom. Students working with meaning, students working with pronunciation, and then checking students' understanding of that word before they then go on to practice it. We also provide you with an assignment submission checklist. Make sure that you can answer yes to each part of the 3 parts of this submission checklist, because if you can't, it's highly likely that your work will be returned to you as a resubmission. If there's anything that's not clear, obviously, please speak to your tutors on the course who are happy to help you. We also support you in the assignment pack with a set of assignment guidelines. Please read these carefully and highlight the key information as you go along. And again, if there are any queries, speak to one of your tutors who is always available to help. Within the guidelines, we also provide you with a recommended bibliography and information on how to reference the material that you've used to research. For the language-related task part 1, vocabulary, this is the 2 learner dictionaries that I've already mentioned to you, And again, I'll stress the fact that they are available online as a website and that they are free. So that's the Oxford Learner's Dictionary and the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. Also of great importance, and again please look at this carefully, are the assignment tips that we provide you with. And these are a list of the typical problems that learners on the course have. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll start again. These are a list of the typical problems that trainees have when completing the assignment. And as long as you've read these and make sure that you've not fallen into any of these traps, you're much more likely to be successful. For the vocabulary task, they're divided into 4 areas, which you can see here on screen: research, meaning, form, and pronunciation. The research aspect usually is a problem if people have done no or insufficient research by really looking carefully in the dictionary to find out about the meaning of the word, or you haven't gone back to your notes from the input sessions on vocabulary and pronunciation to understand how to write concept checking questions or how to transcribe. But again, as I mentioned previously, the model answer shows you the level of detail that is expected. We also encounter problems with meaning. This might be that the meaning is not clearly identified in the example sentence that you are asked to write, or that the techniques that you use, typically concept checking questions, for the vocabulary are either incomplete, insufficient, there's not enough of them to cover all aspects of the meaning of the word, or that you fail to give the answer to those concept checking questions. As far as form is concerned, is this a noun, is it a verb, is this an adjective, and so on, it could be a problem that your analysis is inaccurate, you've got the wrong answer, or that you've used incorrect or insufficiently detailed terminology. Finally, looking at pronunciation, whilst we encourage you to have a go at transcribing the word for yourself, nevertheless please remember that for the assignment the transcription needs to be correct, as it would be in the classroom, and therefore it's absolutely fine to look up the word that you're transcribing in the dictionary and copying it. Less of a problem, I think, for this vocabulary assignment, but more of an issue for the grammar one, is the issue of connected speech, how words change when they are linked to words that follow them in rapid natural speech. Again, something that we cover early on in the course in the pronunciation input sessions, but just something to be aware of when you are transcribing vocabulary and grammar. And then here you can see how to lay out your answer. We provide you with an assignment answer booklet. We also provide you, as I've mentioned, with the model answers, so you can see exactly what is required of you. And this answer booklet is designed to help you to remember each part of the question and to leave nothing out. And here we can see an example of one of those model answers. So as you can see, you're given the opportunity to write in the dictionary definition, the part of speech, the transcription using phonemic script, a context, and then a couple of the concept checking questions. Typically there are 2 or 3 with the answers. We hope you found this video useful, and please remember that we cover in a number of videos both the general background to each of the 4 assignments, but then in more detail exactly what is required of you to complete the assignment for the Swansea University CELTA. If this video has encouraged you to find out more about the CELTA, or you wish to make an application, then please contact us. Our contact details are available on this screen, typically by email, elts@swansea.ac.uk. You can also contact us by phone, and we've also provided you with the contact details of the teacher training coordinator who runs the CELTA programme, Mr. Peter Neville. Thank you.